Gold doesn't come out of the ground looking like jewelry. It comes out looking like dirt, mixed with crushed rock, buried under a mountain that someone had to blow up first. And yet, people spend hundreds of millions of dollars chasing that dirt, because somewhere inside it might be a fortune or a hole in the ground that swallows their money whole. Owning a gold mine sounds like the ultimate power move. Something out of a movie, where a man in a hard hat points at a mountain and says, "Dig there." The reality is far less glamorous and far more terrifying, because before a single ounce of gold is pulled out, the owner has already spent a small fortune just finding out if the gold is even there. Exploration alone can cost anywhere from a few $1 million for a small prospect to over $100 million for a major deposit. Companies drill hundreds of holes into the earth, sending core samples to labs, hoping the rock tells them something worth betting a fortune on. Most of the time, it doesn't. Roughly 1 in 1,000 mineral discoveries ever becomes an actual working mine. It's less like mining and more like buying lottery tickets that cost a helicopter each. But let's say the gold is real. Let's say the geologists come back excited, practically giddy, the kind of giddy that makes investors nervous because geologists are not supposed to be giddy. Now comes the real bill. Building a modern gold mine, from permits to infrastructure to processing plants, can cost anywhere between $500 million and $2 billion. Barrick Gold's Pueblo Viejo mine in the Dominican Republic cost over $3 billion to develop. That's before a single bar of gold ever left the property. And here's where it gets almost absurd. Governments don't just hand over mountains. Permitting alone can take 5 to 10 years, involving environmental studies, community negotiations, and enough paperwork to bury the mine before it's even built. Some companies spend a decade and tens of millions of dollars just waiting for permission to start digging. Once operational, the economics become a strange dance between geology and global finance. A mine's profitability depends almost entirely on something the owner cannot control, the price of gold itself. When gold sits around $2,000 an ounce, a mine that costs $800 to extract each ounce looks brilliant. When gold drops, that same mine can turn from a gold mine, pun very much intended, into a financial sinkhole overnight. Then there are the hidden costs almost nobody talks about. Water usage, tailings storage, worker safety, equipment that costs more than most people's houses. A single haul truck used in large-scale mining can cost over $5 million, and it doesn't even come with cup holders. Add fuel, maintenance, labor, and the occasional geopolitical instability, since a shocking number of the world's gold sits in countries with unstable governments, and suddenly that glittering mountain starts looking more like a very expensive, very heavy headache. Yet when it works, it really works. The Graberg mine in Indonesia, one of the largest gold and copper mines on Earth, has generated tens of billions of dollars in revenue over its lifetime. Some mines produce over 1 million ounces of gold a year, translating into billions in revenue even after brutal operating costs. It's the kind of business where the downside is bankruptcy and the upside is generational wealth, with very little comfortable middle ground. The psychology behind gold mining is almost as fascinating as the economics. Investors chase gold not because it's practical, but because it's primal. Humans have wanted this metal for over 5,000 years, and that desire hasn't faded. It's just been repackaged into stock tickers and mining conglomerates. Owning a gold mine isn't just an investment. It's a bet on human nature never changing. So, is owning a gold mine profitable? Sometimes spectacularly, often catastrophically. The truth sits somewhere between a modern-day treasure hunt and one of the riskiest industrial gambles on the planet. Because at the end of the day, a gold mine doesn't hand you wealth. It hands you a mountain of dirt and a very expensive question. Was the gold really worth digging for? Or was the real treasure the debt you buried yourself in along the way?